The year is 2014, and you're dozing off in your first period class. The skies are looking clear, a perfect day for flying. As your plane lifts off the ground, butterflies swirl in your stomach, and you can't help but smile at the thought of exceeding the limits of human nature to kiss the clouds. This was me in elementary school, a full-time dreamer, exploring caves, soaring through the sky, and fighting off bad guys with my newly awakened superpowers. But, as everyone tells it, when you get older, your reality starts to shift. By the time I was in high school, my main concerns were getting good grades, getting into college, and balancing my schedule with everything I was doing. I was starting to lose that imaginative flair that drove my ambitions and kept me optimistic. But one night, a couple of my friends and I got together for a night at Joe's house. The special thing about Joe's house is that he had something none of us had ever really tried before. A PlayStation VR. We had spent the evening doing various things, but as it got later into the night, our minds wandered towards the mysterious headset sitting in the living room. I watched as my friend slipped on the headset and began swinging around his arms, matching exactly what the character was doing on the TV. After playing around, he took off the headset, handed it to me, and said, "Hey man, you gotta try this." I put on the headset. As my eyes adjusted to the white light, I looked down at my hands, except they weren't my hands as I was used to seeing them. They were a deep black, stylized in a pixelated fashion. When I moved them, the world around me changed. Everything got faster, and when I slowed them down, so did the world. Suddenly, it all clicked. I wasn't playing super hot as I had played it before on my mom's old laptop, moving around the character with a keyboard and mouse. Rather, I was inside super hot, living by the rules of its reality, standing with my own 2 feet in its surreal office rooms. That night, I dodged bullets, dove behind desks for cover, and tore my way through ruthless bad guys trying to take me under. In that headset, I was a kid again, playing spies out on the playground, the odds stacked up against me as I became a hero of my own story. That week, I decided that I was going to get a headset of my own. There were many issues with this. For one, I didn't have a PC or a PlayStation, so how could I possibly get into VR without dropping heavy cash? Well, lucky for me, I had come to find out a new, very special headset had just been announced, one that could solve this issue of accessibility for me.
Someone has to build that.
The Oculus Quest promised a true VR experience, not like those cardboard VR things, without the use of an external system, and all this for a mere $500. I was mesmerized. This black toaster could take me to any place I could imagine, give me all sorts of powers that I had dreamt up as a kid, and turn my bedroom into anywhere I wanted. That flair I had as a child was officially back. But in my excitement, I had nearly forgotten the other major roadblock. I didn't have any money. I knew what had to be done. I didn't have a car, but I did have a bike, so I could get to any of the businesses down the main road without too much trouble. I applied to the closest Taco Bell, went in for an interview, and just like that, I was on my way to infinite realities. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be a piece of cake. I'm quite the introvert, and I'd never worked a job in my life. On the first day, I nearly didn't go out of anxiety. I was surrounded by unfamiliar and unhappy faces, thrown into a fast-paced environment and clearly not enough guidance on how to do the job. Every day I would go in, I would imagine the places I'd go, and my list of games would grow as I scrubbed beans out of the grimy pans. As time went on, the job got easier, and my savings grew. Finally, one day, I had enough, and I sat and watched on the Oculus website, constantly refreshing in hopes to catch them in stock. Lo and behold, after dozens of refreshes, there it was. I immediately bought it, feeling stunned and elated and just so many emotions. I couldn't believe I had truly done all of this, and now it was being packaged and sent to my house. The day it arrived was on par to my birthday, or Christmas. As I took out my very first headset, this feeling washed over me, one of pure joy and excitement, coming out of years of hibernation. I was a child, happy to be alive, to have this device, and to do all of the things I could now do in virtual reality. As I put on my Quest, I knew exactly what to do. After all, I had been planning this day for months. The first game I just had to play was Journey of the Gods. Here, with my sword and shield, I spent the day battling giant beasts, awakening new powers, and exploring an unfamiliar world filled with magic and whimsy. Getting this headset was a major turning point in my life, where the growing pains of adulthood were pushed back, and once again, I played like a kid with limitless imagination. I truly feel that VR can bring out these emotions again, and allow you to not only relive these nostalgic childhood feelings, but also create new ones. If you feel like your life is bland and you're always caught up in your work, school, or any of the stressful worldly things that can distract you, maybe you should go out and try exploring the skies, fight off a horde of space robots, or take on a giant worm. I'm Tumblebud. Thanks for watching, and be good to yourself, guys.